Hi guys, welcome back to high yield intraday trading. So today the strategy that I'm going to discuss is called pivot point strategy. Now for the day traders, I would say the pivot point provides the most significant levels, okay, and the levels are so significant that anyone can stick to one particular stock for the entire day and keep minting money. Alright, so basically pivot points provide a standard support and resistance using which we can take the trading decisions. Alright, so having that said, let me give you a brief about the pivot points. Pivot points are calculated based on the high, low and close of the previous trading session. Okay, so once the day is over, we need to forget the pivot point for that particular day. We cannot make decisions for the next trading day depending on today's pivot point. Let's say today is Friday, we get the pivot points, we trade, we make profits or we make losses, whatever it is, but Friday's pivot point is done. When you sit on a trade on Monday, Friday's pivot point will not carry any significance. Alright, for Monday it will be a fresh pivot point. Alright, so that is something that needs to be noted. Okay, now coming to the pivot point levels, there are 7 basic pivot point levels. One is the pivot point itself, then comes R1, R2 and R3, S1, S2 and S3. Okay, where R stands for resistances and S stands for support. Okay, so let me take you to the Kite interface and show you the stuffs there. It will be more clearer. Alright, this is my Kite interface. So let me first show you how do we draw the pivot point. You go to studies, you scroll down to pivot points, click on pivot points, have all the settings as it is. Okay, and you click on done. Okay, now you see these 7 horizontal lines being drawn. So the white being the pivot point itself, the 3 red lines R1, R2 and R3, and the 3 green lines S1, S2 and S3. Okay, now coming to how do we trade with this. Okay, when we use pivot points, there are 2 things that can happen. The first thing that can happen is pivot point bounces. The second thing that can happen is pivot level breakouts. Okay, now I will explain it one after the other. Let me start with pivot point bounces. Okay, now let me just give you a theoretical idea of what pivot point bounces is. Now in this case, we should open trades if the price reaches a pivot point and bounces back. So basically, if the stock is testing a pivot line from the upper side and bounces upwards, then you should buy or go long on that particular stock. Similarly, if the price is testing a pivot line from the lower side and bounces downwards, then you should short the stock or sell the stock. Okay, now the question comes, how long should you hold the trade for? Now this type of trades should be held at least until the price action reaches the next level, that is the next pivot point. Okay, now that is the theoretical part. Now coming on to the practical part. Okay, this is work farmer. I have already shortlisted this for showing this example. Okay, now let me make it a bit bigger. Okay, so the market started, and starting from, let me mark it, rectangle. Okay, starting from here till here, it was a sideways market. Okay, we are not trading here. We are not trading here. Okay, now at this point you see, let me make it bigger. Yeah, at this point you see that this red candle crosses R1 and it comes down. Okay, you wait for another candle formation. The second red candle also comes down. Now this gives the confirmation that this is gonna go down further. Okay, so you enter here at this point. Okay, the trade continues, it goes down, you earn good profits, and at this point, when it is about to touch the pivot point, it bounces back. Okay, this is the green candle which bounces back. Okay, now we wait further. okay, and we see that this bounce back sustains itself. Okay, so this is a confirmation that you can go long now. Okay, so this is the second trade that you are gonna make on the same script. You go long from here. Okay, now this thing which happened here, okay, before the red line touched the pivot point and it bounced back, this process exactly is called the pivot point bounce. Okay, so once the pivot point bounce happened, you go long. Okay, you stay in the trade. It nicely goes up, up and up, and it is about to touch the R1 again. Okay, now unfortunately the day ends here, or else either the candle would have broken R1 and gone above, or the candles would have bounced back from R1 back towards pivot. Okay, so in a single script you are making two trades here. Okay, first entry from here to here, second entry from here to here. Okay, now when I say bounce back, it does not mean that the bounce back will happen only on the pivot line, that is the white line. Okay, the same example can be taken from R3 to R2 as well. Okay, let's say a stock is coming down from this point till this point, and it bounces back and you decide to go long. That is also known as the bounce back. Okay, so basically in this example, the stock is taking the support on the pivot line. That is how we call it in technical terms. Okay, so this is all about pivot point bounces. Now getting on to pivot level breakouts. Okay, let me give you a theoretical idea first. So in this case, we should open a position when the price breaks through a pivot point level. Okay, now if the breakout is bullish, then the trade should be long, or we should buy the stock. Similarly, if the breakout is bearish, then we should initiate a short trade, or you should go ahead and sell the stock. Okay, now the same question arises again. How long should you hold the trade for? Again, this type of trade should also be held at least until the price action reaches the next level or the next pivot point. Okay, now coming on to the practical example, I have already shortlisted BBCL here. Okay, all right, so the day started, and you can see this level from here till here. It's sideways market, so we are not trading it. Okay, then we see that this red candle crosses S1 and comes down. Okay, so in technical terms we say that the red candle is giving a breakout for S1. Okay, now it comes down, you get the second confirmation and you go short. Okay, now in this case you can keep the stop loss either on S1 or just above the S1. Okay, now this trade is obviously gonna go wrong. Okay, because this is again retracing back. Now it retraces back, it hits your stop loss, and you come out of the trade in a loss. Okay, you wait. Okay, now from here to here again, it's a sideways trend. We are not trading here, we are still waiting. Okay, then we see that this green candle breaks out S1. Okay, the second green candle is in the process of formation, so we get a confirmation that this is gonna go up. Okay, so we go long at this position. Okay, nice long position, you go up, up and up. Now this is the point. Okay, this is the pivot line. We are just below the pivot line, and we are not sure whether this trade whether the direction is going to sustain, or is it going to bounce back from the pivot line. Okay, so I would suggest you to come out of this trade. Okay, anyways, you are out of your losses. Okay, it was a small loss, and the type of move we got here, it covered our losses, and we are in profit right now. Okay, so you entered long here and you exited here. Okay, now in order to be sure if this will actually give a breakout or will it bounce back, we have to wait. Okay, we waited for 10 minutes since it is a 5-minute setup, so 2 candles here, so it's 10 minutes, and on the 15th minute, on the third candle, it broke pivot point. Okay, and again the candle immediately after that, it is also green. So we can take it as a confirmation that this is gonna go up. Okay, so you make a long position here. Okay, you enter long here. Now when you enter long here, you can keep the stop loss either at the pivot point itself or just below the pivot point. Okay, so in this case, you go long here, it goes sideways. For the people who keep the stop loss on the pivot point, it will surely break, it will hit the stop loss and you will be out in loss. But after that, what you need to mark here is the downward journey is not able to sustain itself. Okay, so after 2 to 3 candles, you get a breakout, you get a nice green spike. Okay, so this thing is called a pivot level breakout, as well as this thing is called a pivot level breakout. Okay, now since it is a breakout, you are again sure that I can go long, you go long. The second candle itself breaks out R1 again. Okay, and the immediate candle after that is also green, so you can be sure that the trend is going to continue, so you stay back in the trade. Okay, immediately after that, you get another green candle which breaks out R2. Okay, now the candle which breaks out R2, the next candle to it is also green. Okay, so you can again be sure that this script is gonna go up further. Okay, so you stay back, it's going up. Now unfortunately the day ends, or else either this would have gone towards R3 and then reversed back, or it would have gone towards R3 or and it would have crossed that and gone further. But that is a big move. Okay, so we can expect this to be going till R3 and getting back, or halfway between R2 and R3 and getting back again. Okay, so this is the power of a pivot point, guys. Okay, so one thing I would like to mention here, the guys who are experienced would like to stay in this type of trades. Okay, because they will surely love to make maximum money as they can. Okay, but for the newbies, if you remember, how much rupees stock is this? It's a 750 rupees stock. Okay, so in a 750 rupees stock, a movement of 4 to 5 rupees is not a big deal. Okay, so let's say for example, if you are buying 1000 shares of BPCL and you get a 5 rupees spike, it comes to 5000 rupees per day, which should be more than sufficient. So we need to keep our greed under control, and especially for the newbies, if you are in profit, just come out of the trade, lock your profits. Okay, lock your profits, save your capital. Okay, that is the only thing which I want to say. All right, so this is all about the two things that happens in the pivot point strategy: pivot point bounces and pivot level breakouts. All right, so yeah, so guys, that's about it, and I'm not discussing any other indicators or oscillators in this video, as this video is only dedicated to pivot points. Okay, but please feel free, or rather I would stress on the fact that you should be using other indicators and oscillators as well in addition to the pivot point, because as I believe in intraday trading, multiple confirmations are very important. Okay, but also we see the experienced traders who can just trade with pivot points. I mean, okay, let me not get into that, because at least I have not got to that point where I can just sit in front of my trading terminal having just one indicator and come out making profits at the end of the day. Yeah, so many more things to learn from me as well, huh? Alright, so this is what I had got for today, guys. Thank you for all your time, and would request you all to make use of the pivot point, and I can assure you one thing, that you will surely get used to it. Okay, also if you have not joined my Discord channel, then please join in and see what kind of guys we have in there, and what kind of information and experience is being shared over there. I'm sure you're gonna get benefited like anything over there. Okay, so with request you all to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you all. See ya. Bye bye.